Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Mod Squad Horror Show. I am your host, as always, joined by the fabulous Nerd Tender.
Ooh, I am fabulous this time.
And this week we have Yo Cholo joining us.
What's up? No fabulous for me.
No, you're not fabulous. I'm fabulous.
Wonderful.
Okay, we are going to start our show off with our shirts. These are the 6 we have all the time. Guys, go scan that QR code up there in that corner.
I still need to get me one of those Mod Squad horror shirts.
I need one of the horror ones too.
I do.
Same here.
And this is our shirt of the month. You guys only have a few days to order this.
That's really cool.
And our sponsors this month is It is Scott Straka Art Studio, guys. Go check him out. And also Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios. Guys, Lisa is a wonderful person. Go check out her awesome skulls. And also, don't forget our official Mod Squad community. Scan that QR code and it'll take you to the community where you could be entered into our prizes all month long. Okay, we are going to start off our show with a trailer.
Woo-hoo.
I skimmed this earlier and it gives me the Train to Busan feeling. Have you seen that, Brandon?
Oh yeah.
우리가 예상할 수 없는
Yeah, I
형태로
love
변이된
Creep.
바이러스들이
I just rewatched that
인류를
recently,
괴롭힐 것입니다.
우리 건물에 지금 괴물이 있어. 괴물이 있다고.
어떤 괴물인데요?
Ooh, they're creepy looking too.
우리 이제 어떡해요? 나가면 괴물들이 공격.
A couple of these guys were in Squid Game.
우리 채널 떡상할 수 있는 기회 같은 거. 렛츠고 가자.
Yeah.
저 태권도 국가대표 상비군이었잖아.
They almost look more like vampires.
나 믿죠? 아저씨, 한 번 더 해봅시다.
That's right, they kind of do.
They totally look like vampires. They got like the vampire teeth and everything.
걱정 말아요. 제가 괴물들 유인할 테니까 민정 씨 잠깐 여기 있어요. 좆됐네.
South Korea does some awesome freaking horror though.
Don't they?
They really do. Yeah. Cool. That looks fun. I'll be watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out, definitely.
Okay, let's move on to the horror news. From Bloody Disgusting, The Exorcist believer Evil writes a new chapter on official UK poster for this Halloween sequel. Guys, I have this awesome poster to show you.
Body and the Blood. Actually, this part in the trailer really, I watched this part of the trailer several times just because the way the camera worked, the editing in it, it's so badass, man.
I'm really looking forward to that movie.
That comes out the day before my birthday, so I might be going to see that.
Hell yeah.
That'll work.
But it's awesome how she's walking down that aisle and she's like, body of the blood. Body of the
blood. Yeah. It's pretty disturbing, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this movie. Okay. From Bloody Disgusting, Peacock's massive Halloween lineup this September includes more than 100 horror movies.
Check it out, guys.
They had a bitchin' lineup last year, too, and I was hoping that they would do it again. Peacock was killing it last year at Halloween time with the horror movies.
This is just my opinion, I think the way Peacock is going here lately, they're going to end up doing a lot better than Netflix is because Peacock has a lot of stuff
They
on
do.
their site and it's cheaper than what Netflix is.
Yeah.
They're going to be like the sleeper in the game, pretty much.
I think so.
But
yeah.
Brandon, you said you hoped there was good titles. Well, you know what? We got them all here for you. You guys want to eyeball that a little bit? Here are all the titles coming to Peacock. Or you could pause the video and check it out. But
yeah, I mean,
here we go.
all the Chucky movies, the Amityville movies. There's
Halloween on there.
There's some hilarious
The Mummy,
Amityville selections.
Ghostbusters are on there.
All the
Saw movies.
Bitchin', Psycho,
They Live, The Thing, both of them.
Demon Knight and Bordello of Blood. So good.
Yeah, Village of the Dam.
Videodrome. Yeah,
and last but not least,
they had all of the old Universal movies last year, and we watched a whole bunch of them. Some of them that I'd never even taken the time to watch before, that I really, really enjoyed. Those old Universal ones are just so much fun.
Yep.
I love the Invisible Man movies. They're hilarious.
From Bloody Disgusting, Psycho, The Lost Tape of Ed Gein trailer, MGM unearths true horror that inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, inspired Psycho, inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also inspired,
I do have a poster for that movie.
Oh,
do you? That's what's up.
Dude, that looks cool.
It looks.
I wonder the Lost Tapes. I wonder if that's going to be like the format they're going to go with it. You know what? You got the poster, but I got the trailer.
Ed Gein was a kind of meek, unremarkable man. There's something eerie about that.
Gein was digging up bodies, but what he did with the body parts is extraordinary. Gein was so enmeshed with his mother that he wanted to become his mother.
Ed Gein had inspired Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ed Gein was Norman Bates, and Norman Bates was Ed Gein.
What he was like as a person was extremely unique. You see in his house, too, it's an exteriorization of his own mind.
What did you intend to do with their body? What parts would you take off?
Oh, that's crazy.
Literally, that about the grid. Would you enjoy it while you were doing it?
That's the format they're going to show it in.
Maybe they didn't think.
So creepy. Sweet.
I may have to get a subscription to MGM Plus.
Yeah, MGM Plus has some good stuff on there too. I used the free trial to watch one of the shows on there. It's pretty good.
Normally on Amazon days, me and the kids, we get all of because they do like 3 months, 99 cents a month or something like that. And we always get all of them. This is one we never get, but I'm definitely going to get it this time or next time there's a thing.
That looks pretty awesome. From Bloody Disgusting, Creepshow Season 4 trailer, Shudder series unleash brand new monsters this Halloween.
If you guys haven't watched
for that also.
If you guys haven't watched the Creepshow series on Shudder, it is so much fun. It's so cool.
Look at that awesome.
I think we're on the second season of it. Yeah, that looks badass.
It's so cool.
We're in the second season of it. I think we finished the second season, and then we should hammer out the third before the fourth one comes out. But yeah, I'm watching it. Anything Greg Nicotero does, he's a producer for Walking Dead, and he does all of the prosthetics and the makeup and stuff for them. So anything he does, I love. But
he's been in the game for years. I love watching like older movies from like the 80s and 90s and stuff, and seeing his name pop up. You know, before he was like a big name, big household name after The Walking Dead. He's been doing it for a long time.
I think he did all the work for I think it was Halloween 4 or Halloween 5.
Yeah.
But I know he did all the work for that. I was watching another docuseries on that, and he was there. I'm like, that's Greg Nicotero.
Yeah.
But
I saw him at a con.
How was he?
I just saw, I didn't talk to him, but like he was there, he was doing a panel, and then I saw him walking around, and he was over talking to oh God, who was he talking to? I don't remember who he was talking to, but I saw him and I was like, holy shit, that's Greg Nicotero right there. And there was a bunch of people that were trying to swarm him, and I didn't want to be one of those people, so I didn't.
Here is the trailer for, I think it's a teaser for Creepshow 4, season 4.
Hello?
What is going on?
These are the last moments of your life.
Oh my God.
You're scaring me.
You have no idea what you are dealing with.
Something beyond your comprehension.
What is it? Some people deserve to rot.
There's the man right there.
Sweetie.
What the hell was that?
A little bit of Take On Me right there with the hands coming out of the TV. Or wherever they were coming out of.
Tom Atkins. I'm so stoked that Tom Atkins is back.
This is it for you.
We do a lot of really fun
Did you just
practical
Patrick
effects in this
Swayze
show.
that boss?
Don't tell her we're dead. They're dead.
Oh.
I like it because they just got the different ones. They got the comedy aspect,
yeah.
the spooky aspect, the different.
Yeah, all the episodes are totally different. You know, some of them clearly better than others. But yeah, they bring the comedy, they bring the horror, and yeah, so many awesome practical effects. A lot of really famous faces that just pop up out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like I said, Tom Atkins and that. Holy shit! You know, I can't wait to see him in this.
I think in season 2, Tobin Bell showed up. I'm like that. I'm like that's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
He showed up for an episode, so yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's on Shudder. If you guys aren't watching Shudder, there's so much good stuff on there. I freaking love Joe Bob, and yeah, I can't wait to see what.
Yeah, we have Shudder through AMC Plus. I have AMC Plus because The Walking Dead. I mean, I'm the biggest Walking Dead fan I know, so I don't miss nothing. So we have AMC Plus for that, and like for $3-4 more, we added Shudder. And so we're getting it really cheap. So we have it. I'm definitely looking forward to this.
It's already pretty cheap. I think I pay like $5 a month for it. It's one of the cheapest streaming services, and they've got some awesome rotating horror movies on there.
They have a series. It's called The Ripper. The acting isn't the best, but it's supposed to be like that. And if you're not seeing it, it actually keeps you. It's a decent show, but it's called The Ripper, and it's like part 4 of an anthology, kind of like the American Horror Story. Right. But you guys, if that's up your alley, I would definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's move on to our urban legends and ghost stories. This is all you, Brandon.
Yeah, it is. So I heard a story about this a while ago, and I wanted to look into it a little more because it was super intriguing, and it's super creepy because it's a real thing that actually happens, and it's kind of morphed from like an actual happening to like this really creepy legend. So it's called the Rat King. I'm sure some of you have heard of this phenomenon, but it's when a rat king is when a collection of rats whose tails get entwined and bound together in some way, whether they get knotted up together, they get stuck together by like sticky shit or hair or whatever, they get all tangled
That's
up.
freaking gross, man. I'm just thinking about it.
It results in this entangled mass of rats, and there have been something like 60 some cases since the first reported instance of this was like back in like the 1500s, and a lot of this is from coming over from Europe, right? So a lot of it happens in Germany and stuff, especially during the 1500s and 1600s when rats were really prevalent over there. Now this is an image of this is a rat king that was
Shit.
found in 1895 in Delfeld, Germany, and it's kept at a museum in Strasbourg in France. But this is an example of what an actual like rat king looks like, and
It looks like a little nest or
yeah, and it
something.
is.
Like,
It's a mass of rats, and I love rats in horror, right? Like some of my favorite things, in horror involve rats, like Willard. I don't know if you
Ben,
guys have seen
Ben and
Willard.
Willard.
I love the one with Crispin Glover. It's actually a remake of an earlier film, Willard, but this one he's so creepy in this movie.
Hardly,
I
I
love
think you pressed something.
I
Oh,
friggin' love
shit,
Willard.
that's Willard. Never mind.
No, that was me. That was the movie Willard. So anyways, yeah, so the Rat King has popped up in pop culture quite a bit. And one of the more recent instances was it happened in Estonia. There was a live Rat King. 13 rats was found in Estonia,
Damn.
and they were taken to a university, and they were humanely euthanized because the rats had no way of freeing themselves. But this phenomenon, right? It's an actual thing, but it's actually led to kind of like urban legends, right? Where a lot of urban legends, they either come from something real that happened, and then
Yeah, tweaked a
it
little bit.
on and turned into this big legend or myth, and there's actually, and so New York is very well known for its rat population, right? So of course, at some point there's got to be a rat king spotted in New York, and and there are stories of people supposedly seeing rat kings in New York. And I found this piece that I was reading. It's pretty fun. It's there's a legendary being that lives in New York called the Rat King. It's what happens when a bunch of rats get stuck in a room, and as they squirm around each other, their tails get tied together, and eventually they're all tied together and they become the Rat King. But because they're tied together, only one of them can survive. So the one rat, survives by eating the bodies that are tied to him and dragged
Damn.
around as he or she walks and scurries around New York, like the New York's,
With a bunch of dead ones
and
following by. Oh man, it's
and
crazy.
it's just a rat tied to, and then you end up with just a rat tied to a bunch of maimed and half-eaten other rats. Sometimes if you look really hard in the subway tracks, especially the ones around Times Square, you can see the Rat King scurrying with his tail tied to all the other dead bodies. And
That is crazy.
this is kind of a an artist rendition of what the New York Rat King would look like. And
That is
and
crazy.
so this is it's a real thing, but of course it's kind of grown into this legend, this urban legend.
Yeah.
And it's been used in a lot of different mediums in pop culture. Stephen King used there's a Rat King in It. There's actually in The Last of Us Part 2, there's a character, there's a big boss in it that's actually called the Rat King, that you have to fight, and it's this mashup of all of the different zombies from The Last of Us that are like formed together to create
Because they, yeah,
one big giant gross friggin' zombie thing. So yeah, that is the Rat King. So good luck sleeping thinking about that tonight.
That is crazy.
that's crazy. I love, honestly, some of those pictures gave me chills,
Right? They're super
especially
creepy.
that last
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
and I mean it's creepy to think that, it does stem from like an actual phenomenon. Um and then, I love when rats are used in horror to such an extent that it's just they're so gross. They're so gross, but it's fun.
That's what's up, man.
Okay, we are going to move on to our horror rewind. This week, our video is The Poltergeist. It was released in 1980. It let's see. The original trilogy revolves around members of a Freeling family who are stalked and terrorized by a group of ghosts led by a demon known as the Beast. And we got that trailer for you guys.
The house looks just like the one next to it. And the one next to that.
I love this
and
movie.
the one next to that.
It's classic.
A young couple live in it.
Give Ken a kiss.
You are so
And of course, this came out like before the PG-13 rating system, so this is a PG movie, which I freaking love because it's so creepy.
What was that, Brandon?
So this is one that came out before
Oh my God,
the
this part
PG-13
terrifies
rating.
me.
Remember last night? Do you remember
So
when you
this
woke
one's
up and
actually
you said
rated
you're here?
PG, and it's so creepy.
Yeah.
Well, who did you mean? Who's here?
TV people.
Something
TV
funny going on here next door. Something,
We were wondering if maybe you had experienced any disturbances lately.
What kind of disturbances?
I don't know what hovers over this house.
Always reminds me of Eddie Murphy, I think, in Raw. Ghost says, "Get out. I'm out of there so freaking fast, man."
That thing is in there with my baby.
This movie terrified the shit out of me.
Steven Spielberg crosses a
Marilyn!
threshold into a world within our own. Its form is revealed.
We had the younger brother in the bandbox.
Yep.
About a year ago, no? Year and a half?
I think it's probably been a couple years now at least, but yeah.
Couple years, yeah.
Yeah, the scene with the kid and his
Yeah, as a kid, the hallway scene where she runs and it just gets longer.
Yeah.
That always stuck with me as a kid.
Yeah,
For some reason, I have no idea why.
It's classic. Joe Beth Williams. Directed by Tobe Hooper. The genius that brought us Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
This movie completely terrifies me because of my stepsister. When I was like 5 or 6 years old, okay, she and her friend babysat me, and they would stick clothes baskets on top of us and sit on top of the clothes basket and make us watch this movie. So
I mean, you could look the other way, no?
Well, okay, when you're sitting under the clothes basket, where there's only that one little area that you could see through because the other side was all closed off, you end up stuck watching.
That's crazy.
So
it's so good though.
Her and her friend tormented me and my sisters with this movie.
Sounds like something I would have done with my nieces back in the day. Right. Not gonna lie.
So now,
but
I watched that movie still as an adult, and it's still like the part where she turns around and says, "They're here." Oh my God, that freaks me out every time.
But you love it, right?
Yes, I love that
those
movie,
are the memories,
but it still
those are the
freaks me
memories that you cherish. Being tormented.
I saw you squirming the whole time too. I was wondering what that was about. That's crazy.
Yes.
Check it out though. Let's talk about the curse of the Poltergeist. The daughter there that yelled, "What's happening here?"
Mm-hmm.
And in the second one, I think it was the older Native American guy. He passed away, and I think in the third one, the main actress, Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah.
What's her last name? That right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she passed away at the end of the part 3. Actually, the kid the dude's holding is not even her; it's someone else. And that was scary too. That was
so
everything they went through too. Yeah, she went through a lot there at the end. I read up on it, and it's just the curse of that. I have no idea what freaking happened though, but there is a huge curse.
Yeah, it was a mysterious death with her. I know she had some really rare disease that killed her. It was so sad because she was so young. And
Yeah.
I mean, clearly she had a really bright future ahead of her. So yeah, that was really, really sad when that happened.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to our last trailer for this episode, guys.
The Indian horror.
What's going on with you? All the stories we heard growing up, they're all true. It lives inside. Don't you hear it? What is the Pishash, Mom? The Pishash doesn't kill you right away. It feeds on you slowly. When it's ready, it eats your soul. What do? We must make an offering. Om Vee Shanti. Om Vee Shanti. Om Vee Shanti. Om Shanti.
I was thinking it looks like a typical horror movie, but no, it did creep me out a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean,
That movie looks pretty awesome.
It's PG-13, whatever, but they've been churning out some pretty decent PG-13 horror movies in recent years. I know a lot of people hate when they put out PG-13 horror, but they've really been pushing the envelope with those. So and it's cool seeing, I like foreign horror, especially like Asian horror, but it's not too often that you see like a Hindu horror movie like that. So some Hindu
That's true too.
demon that gets released. So I'm always down for learning about new demons from different countries. Those are fun.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. So what is one movie as a child that still sticks with you as an adult?
I could tell you one movie that bothered the F out of me as a kid that I think about still to this day. See if you guys have ever heard of it. It's called The Man Who Saw Tomorrow.
No.
I don't know that I've ever seen that one.
We might have to do that one as a horror rewind.
Well, check it out. It's not really a movie. It's about Nostradamus and how he predicted the end of the world, how he predicted what happened with the Twin Towers. This was in the early 80s, and it predicted a lot of shit from like then to now. I'm like, that was in that Nostradamus movie. What happened on 9/11 was straight up Nostradamus. He's talking about the new city. He talks about two birds, which at that time there was no airplanes, so they looked like fiery birds. And I mean, it was just crazy. And as a kid, to think that I wouldn't live that long, because all this was supposed to happen in the early 2000s and all this. I don't know. Just The Man Who Saw Tomorrow is about Nostradamus, and it frightened me as a kid. And for some reason, my sisters were always watching it.
Really? I might have to check that out. That sounds pretty interesting. For me, I've loved watching horror movies since I was way too young to be watching horror movies. But when I was about 8 years old, on Halloween, me and my buddy were getting ready to go trick-or-treating, and his parents were over. They were all over at my house, and his parents were hanging out with mine, and they turned on Candyman. And I saw the first like 5 minutes of that movie, that opening scene with the girl, the babysitter, and she has her boyfriend over, and they do the Candyman thing in the mirror, and she ends up getting freaking hooked to death by Candyman. And I watched that opening scene right before going trick-or-treating when I was about 8 years old. And man, if I tell you, that ruined my entire fucking night. I spent the entire night trick-or-treating, looking behind me, just waiting to be gutted by a big old bloody rusty hook. And still to this day, and I love I think it's probably one of my top 5 favorite horror movies, but something about that movie, it's so disturbing. It's so creepy. It's so well done. Tony Todd is a genius.
Yes.
But that opening scene, and I didn't even watch the rest of the movie until probably like 3 or 4 years later when I was finally like a teenager or something. Just because that opening scene, man, that traumatized me hard. Like I couldn't go into the bathroom I would go outside to go pee. I would,
That's crazy.
do the whole running down the hallway and like, reaching in and flipping the light on and just doing everything you could to not be in the dark anywhere near a bathroom. I was traumatized with the bathroom for the longest time. And now it's by far one of my favorite movies.
I think
Okay,
mine
And that was
would have
30
with
years
that one.
ago.
I think mine, okay, y'all know the whole Poltergeist thing, but that one isn't what still sticks with me. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Okay, so mine would be any Freddy movie. Because when I was in elementary school, it was a 2-story building. I could not use the bathrooms at the public school because I was afraid Freddy was going to come up through the toilet and kill me while I'm using the bathroom.
Yeah.
So still to this day,
Yeah.
if I'm in a 2-story building, I will not use the bathroom on the 2nd story
Yeah.
because it
That's a legit
traumatized
fear.
me as a child.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Freddy used to scare the shit out of me too. I used to have that same kind of fear in the swimming pool. I used to think Freddy was going to come out of the freaking filter thing in the swimming pool.
I know I've said this before, but I cannot be. And this was because of Jaws. Actually, that should be up there with second to The Man Who Saw Tomorrow, because
Yeah.
Jaws, to this day, I'm afraid of water. Never been to the ocean. Never want to go see the ocean. I can't be in a swimming pool by myself. Just water.
There's
No.
no sharks in the pool.
Okay.
I just can't.
Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the horror show. Remember, we have shirts. These are the 6 we have all the time. And this is our shirt of the month. You have a very limited time to get that shirt. It will be in the vault at the end of the month. And that QR code for it is right here in the corner. And also, don't forget our Mod Squad community. Scan that QR code down there at the bottom by Felix, and you can be entered into our month-longs of giveaways. Also, check out the Daily Dank and the Back to the Retro show, and also the last podcast you'd want. Well, that is it for this episode of the Mod Squad Horror Show. For the Nerd Tender Yo Cholo, myself, and the entire Mod Squad, see you in your nightmares.
See ya.